Mark, any progress in the search for some more firepower?
We've got progress, but nothing signed and sealed as of yet, but we're hopeful that will change for the weekend.
And can you give us any hint of what area of the team it would be that you'd be hoping to have reinforced?
Hopefully one forward and one in another position, vital position.
So multiple possible arrivals. How difficult is it during sort of the middle of the window? Because obviously, some talks can take place in advance, and then there's that big rush towards the end. Are we in a bit of a lull at the moment?
No, I think we're quite clear on where, what, who, type we want to get. It's just the fact that there's always mitigating factors. So, say if we want a player from whatever team and they get an injury, they then don't want to let that player out because to leave themselves short until they get a player in. So it's a little bit of a chess game at the minute, and we're just waiting until we get them over the line.
Would that suggest it's lone players then?
Not necessarily.
Interesting. We await that with interest. What have you been working on in training this week? Because I imagine so much to unpick after the win at Mansfield.
I think it's important that we don't overanalyse that game, because it was a real strong wind. It was difficult conditions. We didn't defend well, but we always looked a threat going forward. So completely away from what we have been, really sound defensively and not too potent. So we want to keep one bit and tighten the other bit up. So nothing different so that we haven't worked on before. The main thing we're pleased of was the desire for people to want to run and run forward towards the opposition's goal.
And you've talked about desire in the opposition penalty area at the moment. How much is Farron Rawson on his current goal scoring spree an example and I suppose a bit of a leader amongst the camp?
Yes, if your centre forwards are not scoring goals, then you need the goals to be shared out amongst the rest of the squad. And Faz has stepped up in the last couple of weeks to help us get some invaluable points.
Joss March obviously made his debut last weekend. How much better will he be for another week's training with you?
Time will only tell, but I've seen a difference in his conditioning, his body, to be able to cope maybe with the intensity of the game.
And is that part of the adjustment that his body's got to make from part-time to full-time football as well as the step up?
Yeah, I think when you've been driving around in a van eating cheese and onion crisps and ham and cheese sandwiches for the last few years and fitting pipes and training once a week, it's going to take its toll. So to come into a full-time environment and to train as play the intensity we do, it's going to take him a little bit of time, but I've seen enough in the week to believe that he's going to be an asset to us.
Have the fitness guys got him on an individual plan? How does it work?
Yeah, of course. They're all individualised. Obviously, it's because we've had a free week. We've been able to do a bit more with him. But the main the most important thing is making sure that he's fresh on a Saturday. So we don't want to kill him too much. But with that in mind, we have done some extra work with him. What
do you make of Salford's recent form? They seem to sort of go in runs of form, whether it's winning or losing.
Yeah, I think they've had 3 defeats, is it? They've had a go in the transfer market this week, signed some really good players. So I'm not sure what team they will pick. They've got a really good manager who's done a great job there. We know how difficult it is to get out of the National League when you're pigeonholed as a massive spenders and the pressure's on. We know how difficult that is. So he's done brilliant, and we know how difficult the first season in the league can be. So I'm sure come the end of the season they won't be too far away.
They look like they'd really got it cracked after they beat Crewe and drew at Bradford. Just seem to have lost, as you say, those last 3. I mean, can you ever explain what happens in runs or what changes runs?
I think it's difficult to explain what happens. Football, it's just a one-off, isn't it? And like you say, you think you've cracked it, and then the whole world caves in, and they'll be looking to get back back to it as quick as they can. It's probably speeded up their recruitment plans in what they thought they needed to do. It's probably intensified, and they've done it really quickly and brought 3 really good players in for the level. So yeah, I'm sure that they'll be looking forward to watching them play.
And how much respect have you got for them as a club, knowing what obviously Forest Green had to go through, and as you said, their experience will be fairly similar?
Yeah, huge respect. I mean, it's to come where they've come from, and the guys that obviously that are behind it, the ex-players, speak so much sense. When you listen to them speak, and you can see there's a clear structure of where they want to go. They're not afraid to put their hands in their pocket as well, and they want to get there really quickly. So good luck to them.
Injuries? How's Liam Shepherd's hamstring?
Good. He's trained this week, so all good to go.
Everyone else okay?
Yeah, George Williams is coming along nicely. We're hopeful that he will have some game time in a development game next week, so he's not too far away.
Finally, Mark, a minute's applause has been announced in Chris Barker's memory. How important the club shows its respects in the right way? Yes,
it's important that we do that as a club, and it's such a shame. When we heard that news on New Year's Day, it was terrible. Barks had been and worked with me for the first few months of the season and done a really good job after Scott leaving. So yeah, shocking.
Thank you. Good luck.
Mark, I just want to cast your mind back to Salford away. Would you say arguably that was one of your best performances of the season today?
Possibly one of them. Yeah, the last few years we've done really well away from home, but we played well on the day. Matt Mills was outstanding that day. Recall scored 4 goals on the road. That's the 3rd time. I think we've done that 3 times this year. But we played well on the day. But I think we'll be playing a different animal on Saturday.
Yeah, what do you make of their signings? I mean, especially Bruno Andrade.
Well, I think when a group of guys get you promoted, you want to give them that chance to step up to National League, to the Football League. And I think Graham Alexander, the manager, has shown that faith, and probably got to a point now he realises he needs to strengthen the squad. And they've done that, and you look at the players they've brought in this week, they're all had success at this level.
Yeah,
Bruno and Michael, they both had success at Lincoln last year,
yeah.
And got promoted. So they're 2 really good signings. And obviously Tom Elliott is a big centre forward from Millwall. So we're going to have to be on our game Saturday to get anything out of it.
With those 3 players in mind, then, are you expecting a different Salford animal to the one that you played a few months back?
I'm sure they'll all play. They'll give the team an impetus, and after 3 defeats, that's just what you need. But if we play well like we can, we will be a difficult nut to crack for them.
Yeah, at Salford you had a breathless sort of first half start. Recent times your second halves have been better than your first halves. Is there any reason behind that?
Believe me, we've tried everything. We've changed the warm up. We've got the players in earlier. We've got them in later. We've tried to kick the ball really long at the start of the game. We've tried everything. It's just one of them things.
Yeah, just one more from me. Your brand of football is very, very pleasing on the eye, but do you think possibly in some ways it's almost too good for League Two? That's not being disrespectful of League Two.
No, I don't really think like that. It's just what we do. It's how we choose to do it. I just think it suits our recruitment, and we don't shout from the rooftops about it. There's no right way or wrong way to play the game. So yeah, it's what we choose to do, and we enjoy doing it.
Thank you.
Mark, Saturday's game marks the Mind Charity Day of Action for Forest Green Rovers. With the link that the charity and the EFL have had now for the 2nd season, do you think we're at a turning point with mental health in football and talking about it?
I think so. I think certain events bring it to the forefront, and everyone talks about it, and I think it makes it easier for people to be able to talk about it when it's highlighted. So yeah, it's important that people do talk about that. It is a silent problem. People that don't recognise people that have got mental health issues, and it's important that they do talk about it.
Mind have obviously been in with the club, helping since the news of Chris Barker. Is it important for everyone to be looking after their mental well-being as well as the physical well-being when it comes to the players?
Yeah, of course. I think it's difficult to assess yourself, you know, about your mental health. How do you know if you're struggling with it? I think it's just talking. I think talking to people and airing your feelings and making sure it's everyone's all right.
I suppose especially in a male-dominated sport like football, sometimes that is harder. It's about being open, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not an easy industry to be too open about any issue like that. It is quite a, like you say, it is a male-dominated industry, and it is difficult to talk. But I think with what's happening and with it being at the forefront now, I think it's making it easier for people to air their feelings.
And we'll end the press conference with Saturday will mark your 200th game in charge of Forest Green Rovers Football Club. Some achievement. Have you learned much in that 200 games? I'm sure there's been plenty of highs and lows along the way.
Yeah, there has. I learned. Yeah, I think you're always learning. I've enjoyed it, most of it. I might get a round of applause on Saturday.
And I suppose in a football world of hiring and firing even, it's some achievement to get 200 games under your belt at one club.
It is, but you have to get results as well along the way. It's not about you're bomb-proof or bullet-proof. You still have to get results, no matter who you are or what club you're at. At some point, results do dictate whether you stay or go. So we must have got enough good results over that period of time to make sure we're all still in a job.
Well, congratulations on that milestone, and here's to a good results market.
Thank you.